I do believe we have Mr. Ian Garry here. Joe, you could bring him in. Here he is. Ooh, some nice music. Yes. Mr. Ian Garry, I'm going to take off my headset here. How are you? Oh, what do we got here?
Nice t-shirt.
You told me.
How are you, man?
Good.
Great.
Congratulations. Can I open this?
Of course, kind of.
This is the future right here. He brought me some gear. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Nice. Yeah,
thank you,
nice
Ian.
Black on black.
Yes, I like it. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for being a man of your word. You said you would come in after the win. You made it happen.
It's a pleasure to be back. I'm just happy to be here. Really happy. Everything's good. Life is amazing. I'm still a bit overwhelmed with everything, but...
Are you?
Yeah, I mean, the whole experience was just... From the moment we landed in New York, even till now, it's still just been kind of... It's just been go, 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 go. I've done so many interviews.
Yes.
Been so busy, like between having to do all the meetings for the UFC and just get everything sorted in regards to gear and take photos and ceremonial weigh-ins and just, it's been hectic, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
Are you exhausted?
No, it's just overwhelming. It's just...
Are you tired of talking at this point?
Oh, God, no.
No? You're not tired?
I could talk to a wall.
Okay, really? Because I have seen you all over the place, and rightfully so, but I was just wondering if at some point, and maybe it will happen, I did that on purpose. I'm mad at him. Yeah, I'm mad at him. Well, as you can see, look, there's one right here. Daniel Cormier, he stabbed me in the back. Unlike you, he is not a man of his word. He said he would come. He did not come, so he's in timeout. Okay, I just want to let you know. That's done on purpose. Yes, I even replaced his photo was right there, and I took him down.
Pat McAfee.
Yes, you know Pat McAfee.
I watch his show. Yeah,
he's great, right?
I watch all the NFL stuff.
Are you an NFL fan? Because I saw you at the Dolphins game a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
You're an actual fan?
Yeah, I like NFL a lot. Yeah, I like following the. So when I started watching a couple of years ago, and I like watching the kind of college kids come through the ranks.
Yes.
Kind of like myself in a sense.
Yes.
Coming from Cage Warriors to the UFC, I like seeing the guys. So like Kyler Murray, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, all those guys, and all the wide receivers. Yeah, I like watching kind of the guys I've seen pass through college.
Right. Graduate and then make it. Yes.
And then seeing what teams they end up.
Because it's not popular in Ireland, right?
No, not really. No. But I just love it. I love the athleticism. I love the way it's done. I think it's a great sport.
When I saw you at the Dolphins game, I hate the Dolphins.
I mean,
because I'm a Bills fan.
Yeah, I mean the Dolphins. Well, the Bills are amazing this year. Yeah, the Dolphins aren't great, but we went down to.
Well, I saw it and I was like, I wonder if he even understands what's going on. I was thinking that because you had the jersey.
I fully love NFL. Like it's the two things I watch the most on YouTube are NFL and golf.
Golf?
By far, yeah. Not MMA isn't even in my search history. It's NFL and golf.
Really?
There's no MMA. Yeah.
Are you do you play golf
all the time? I was meant to play. I was going to play.
Oh, did you really ask DC?
Mm-hmm.
That's.
I had it booked in, and I just didn't because I thought it would be better. Like it wouldn't benefit.
This was on fight day.
Fight day. Yeah, I was going.
Why would you do that?
Because I love golf.
But fight day.
Yeah, but golf. Yeah, okay. But find to me, right? See the way you come into work today.
Yes.
Right. If you loved golf and you could start the day playing golf, or you could finish work and then go play golf. That's what most people do.
Right.
Same for me.
What was the tee time?
It was like 10 o'clock. So it was just a case of driving there took an hour, then driving back. It'd just be too much. If it was half an hour away, I might have done it, maybe. But traffic, I just said, no, I'm not in the mood for it. But for me, golf, like, fighting's easy, right? I enjoy fighting. Getting in a cage and actually competing against somebody is something I enjoy. So I love golf. I have a passion for golf. So if I can do both in one day, why wouldn't I?
Yeah, and
I was going to play with DC. Yeah, that was, we text.
Was he in?
I think so. I said it to John Anik. I said to John Anik about seeing did he want to play? And he was like, I didn't bring my clubs. He's like, but DC did. I was like, ask him if he wants to play. If he wants to play, I'm in. And yeah, basically then I just cancelled it. I was like, no, I'll just focus on the fight.
Smart.
Imagine. I don't know. I still would have loved to play, but yeah, I absolutely adore.
How good are you?
Good, really good. Yeah, I only started last August during the lockdown.
Wow.
Yeah, when lockdown kicked off, all my mates were posting stories on Instagram of golf course. And like, I'm sat at home doing nothing. Yeah. These are all out playing golf. Why? Obviously, because it's the most socially distant thing you could do. You hit a ball in a field.
Right.
And obviously, I love the nature of it, like the way courses are designed and just it's natural, it's beautiful. So I just ended up starting playing for it. Went from a 28 handicap down to a 9 handicap in like
Holy
a year.
Smokes.
Yeah, so I now have got all my clubs and I'm learning how to get better, and I want to get down to, I'd like to try to get down off.
And you're in a great spot now for golf, right? Florida?
Florida, most golf courses in America, yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Wow. We looked up some interesting facts about Florida. The first thing, most golf courses in any state. But yeah, I love golf.
Now I know why you went to Sanford.
Yeah.
Now it makes all the sense.
That makes
the golf course.
It's actually nothing to do with it.
Right.
Of course, it's a benefit being beside the best gym in the world and having all these beautiful golf courses is amazing.
So you said something on Saturday. I have so much to ask you, but you said something on Saturday that really stuck with me.
I haven't even talked about the fight yet.
I know, right? Isn't that the beauty? I love it. I could have asked you a million more questions about golf, but we don't have all day. You did say, I think it was to Joe Rogan in the cage,
Mm-hmm.
man, it's a different kind of energy, debut, MSG. Yeah. So then I was like, this guy on Wednesday told me he wasn't going to get nervous. He wasn't feeling. So when did it hit you?
So I said nerves in the cage, and I don't think nerves is the right word. It was overwhelming in a sense of just kind of everything just hit me at the one time. Like, I wasn't nervous. I was at the back. I was singing. I was dancing. I was talking to like security guards about golf and everything and blah, blah, blah. And we walked out. Everything was fine. Like, everyone's watching me as I'm getting ready to make the walk out before Jordan walks out. And then they're like, Ian, you're here. Everyone's screaming, everyone's shouting. I'm like, right, this is it. Like, I'm buzzing off that energy. It wasn't until I got into the cage and I'm stood there and they're calling, and Bruce Buffer's just about to like announce the fight. And I look left and I see, like, in Madison Square Garden, there's 3 big screens all on the tiers. And it was like UFC 268, Madison Square Garden. And it just has my name in big writing. It's like, Ian, the future Garry. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. that's pretty cool. And then I'm like listening to Bruce Buffer announce the fight. And I'm like, this is happening. Okay, all right. And it was at that moment then, I was just like, wow. I know we've been talking about it. It's like 23, making your UFC debut at MSG. And I wasn't nervous. Nervous was the wrong word to use in the cage with Joe. It was a feeling, a sensation of overwhelming. Mm-hmm. Just everything kind of hit the set at the same time. And I'm like, wow, okay, this is real.
Emotional?
Yeah, it was like, but like a good emotion.
Okay.
But it did kind of sway me for the first minute. And then it took me about a minute to focus, and then the fight ended up the way I said it was going to end up, but I'm happy.
So it was fascinating to watch because I was actually watching it. I was talking to Pete as well at the same time, and you got hit.
Do you know what?
What was going through your mind?
The overwhelming feeling. Yeah, I was trying to like.
You think that's why you were getting hit?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
So firstly, he done a good job in a sense of changing some stuff up from his previous fights.
Like what?
His head didn't move off the center line. His posture changed, so his fight stance changed a little bit. He normally fought kind of like this. This fight, he fought kind of like with his hands out, which is quite an awkward thing to just do in general, is fight with your hands kind of here. So I'm like, just trying to process. And I have really good eyes. I know I have really good eyes, and it took me a while to just kind of get used to it. But between the feeling of overwhelming and then him just being a bit awkward. Yeah, I got caught a couple of times, but at the end of the day, he got slapped. So.
Yes, he did. But were you starting to panic?
No panic. Come here. I train with some of the best guys in the world, and they hit me. Like, it doesn't sense panic. It's more just, okay, how can I hit you?
Are you talking to yourself in that moment?
No, more just figuring it out. It's more like problem solving for me. I mean, I know I can figure out the problem. Like, I mainly finish people in the second round. Because the first round, I like to kind of just go out there and take my time, not take my time, but more just figure out what you do, what are your movements, how do you like to change, it's like I completely examine you from like head to toe and see, like, does your foot move an inch when you step with your right hand? Does your jab mean that you drop your right hand? If you jab, do you drop? If you throw a kick, I completely take in everything. And it was just quite awkward for me to get that because he had a weird stance and it was just different. But then I got it. I started to move more fluidly then once I kind of understood what he was doing. And once I moved fluidly, people find it really hard to judge me. And then he tried to take me down. I didn't, defended it, got him up against the cage, couple knees to the head. And then I just kind of, once we broke away, I was like, right, I've got him now. Like, in fighting, sometimes you have to take one or two to give a few back. But once I seen just about, it was just before I landed the head kick, I landed a jab left high kick as he was coming in. I seen that he reaches. So like he was reaching and I was like, right, okay, let him do it again, which is when I threw another right high kick and he tried to reach, caught my chest. I was like, let him do it again. Because when he does it again, he'll have confidence. The next time he does it, I had the 10-second clap. I'm like, do it now because you got the timing. And I was just waiting for him to commit. And then he goes, hook straight. I'm like, here we go.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like slow motion for me. I just seen the punch come here and I'm like, oh, yes. And I was just right hand on the chin. And I was just like, he's done. The minute I hit him, you can feel it with a shot when it lands clean. You can feel that it's like a shock through someone's body. It just feels special. And I felt that feeling when I cracked his jaw. And I seen his eyes go instantly like this. And I was like,
let's go.
Ref told me not to stop.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's out. I'm like, right, one more. I'm like, he's out, but he's not gone down and the ref's not here. And I was like, he's done. So I just landed one little one as he was falling. It was a nice little walk off because it
was incredible. Yeah. I mean, right at the buzzer with a second left. How many times have you watched it?
I think about 4, 5, 6.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, no. We've watched the highlight over and over and over and over and over again. The actual fight I've watched it about 6 times. But the highlight I've watched on loop, basically. It's just it's beautiful. Like I like the comparison that someone done about like the Eddie Alvarez and the Ivan Bushinger to Conor, which is quite cool.
Obviously, you didn't do that on purpose, right? That's just
I mean, I could say it now. It was
I know. It was incredible.
It was just a shot. Yeah, if I planned that. No, it was just a shot that landed. It was something that we were working on. It was a shot that we were working on because obviously Southpaw Orthodox, overextending to the left. So like me and my coach, Jason Strout, were working on it. And it was just that crack, just that step back, lean off, crack. And it was brilliant. And obviously it was just muscle memory. As soon as I seen it, it was just on the money. Yeah, I couldn't be happy with the finish, the display, the performance. I'm not happy about it in a sense of I got hit a couple more times than I would have expected, but it's fighting. Do you know what I mean? People, they don't have to be the best fighters in the world to be awkward and to cause trouble and problems. I mean, how many fighters have you ever seen in the UFC that do better than they should just because they're a bit awkward? Just because they possess a weird, like Tony Ferguson. Like, he done better than he probably necessarily should have because he's so awkward. But that's what works for him. That's how he fights. And I kind of got that feeling off Jordan. He was a bit awkward, and I know he hits hard, and I know he rushes forward. He looks to be aggressive, and that's fine. That doesn't bother me. I am primarily a counterpuncher. Like, I like to sit back and wait because I find it's beautiful. I find it's like a beautiful art. If like you try hit me and I miss, and then I can knock you out from it. It's stunning.
It's a great way.
Yeah, it feels like I've completely checkmate. It's like I beat you. You tried, you failed, I caught you back. It's exciting. It sends a rush through your body. It's beautiful.
Can you describe, like, even put into words what that final sequence is like what is going through your body when he is out, when the ref calls it off? You know that you got it with seconds left, with a second left in the round. And then you have your celebration.
Yeah.
Can you even compare that to anything? Can you even describe it?
No, I can't compare it to anything. I can try to describe it. It was the second I landed the punch, I knew it was over. Like, there was no way he was finishing that fight. Like, I knew it was landed. I knew it was over. Cracked him again. Done. Right. Walk off. And it was just in that walk off. It's like your body raises its temperature, but your arms are tingling at the same time. It's like you're hot and cold at the same time, and your body it's this rush of adrenaline, and you can feel it fire through your body. Have you ever got panicked or scared and you kind of feel your body shake? It's like that, but not panic. It's like, oh my God, like it's like an energy.
Euphoria.
It's just, it's euphoric. It's just, we did this. And I remember going over, right in front of them, I went over to DC, John and Joe, and just, and I just went down them. I didn't say a single thing to them. I just looked at them and shook my head and went, this is it. Like, I just looked at them as they knew, and they were all laughing and smiling back at me. And yeah, it was just, I took a little lap of honor, little round, just put my hands up, just was like, we did it. I just soaked in the moment. I didn't I didn't want to leave that cage not having kind of walked around and looked out at the crowd and enjoyed every single second of it, because it is going to be a special moment that we look back on in a couple of years. It is something that I'm never going to forget. It's like the proudest moment in my fighting career, in a sense of like, I've just won my UFC debut by knockout in the first round in the most iconic sports venue on the planet. I just want to enjoy this. And it was just like that adrenaline. It was phenomenal.
What felt better? Maybe a crazy question, maybe not. Winning the Cage Warriors title, knowing that would punch your ticket to get to this place, or Saturday night?
There was more emotions behind the Cage Warriors title because of the journey before it, in a sense of like, I wanted it. That was my main goal from amateur to pro, was to get that Cage Warriors title, because I know that Cage Warriors title gives me such a benefit then going forward to the UFC. So that was more emotional because it was a journey, it was a longer process. But I feel like this debut was the start of a new era, a new chapter, the start of what I want to be written down as history. Like, is when Ian Garry made his UFC debut and took over the organization and took over the world. So for me, it's more like, it's more empowering, because it's like, I've just won the biggest organization in fighting in the biggest stadium, and I've done it in the way I wanted to, in the first round knockout, and I was like, this feels special. And even afterwards, I was getting so much media, and like, I remember when someone was like, you took 2 hours to get here. I was like, look, everybody wants a fucking piece of me. Yeah. Everybody wants me right now. I was like, I haven't taken a second to take a piss. Yeah. I was like, I'm going to get around to everyone. I'm just enjoying it, and I didn't want to rush it at all.
I like that you got changed.
100%,
Put the suit on, of course, why not?
That's what I'm saying. I wanted to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you look, I have enough time to get to everybody, and I can do this all. We can rush it, or I can take my time and I can give you the best me you're going to get. And that's what it was. It was more just like, let's relax. Let's not do anything full of adrenaline. Let's sit there and speak to people and show them who I am, what I'm about, and do it in a relaxed manner, as opposed to, yeah, everything's good. Yeah, I'm happy.
So I can't imagine what that shower feels like.
Yeah.
That shower must feel amazing,
I had a freezing cold shower.
Oh, really?
On purpose.
Oh, on purpose?
On purpose.
Why?
Yeah, just to kind of like wake me up, in a sense of like, I wanted to like...
You were probably so fired up anyway.
Yeah, I was just like, just have a freezing cold shower. I didn't necessarily like it.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it wasn't like I was going in there going, oh, okay. I just wanted to have a freezing cold shower, get in, kind of just wash the sweat off, wash everything off, and then just go get changed and go out and enjoy the rest of the night. But I wanted to kind of just get the senses.
Are you mad you didn't do it under 67 seconds?
No.
That you were putting pressure on yourself there.
Yeah, like, again, this is fighting. I can have, at the end of the day, I said first round knockout. I would have loved to got it in 66 seconds just for a laugh. But it didn't happen. And that's it. Again, I said this to you, I don't force something. Right. I'm not looking for a finish. It will come when it comes. And I know once I'm gifted the opportunity, I'll take advantage of it. And that's exactly what happened. It took a lot longer than I expected. But at the end of the day, the round didn't finish. I finished it. So that's what matters to me.
The fight was great. It was thrilling. It was actually really cool to see you weather a storm a little bit. You know what I mean? Because and you know, you were tested a little bit in Cage Warriors, but for the most part, it was pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, agreed.
So it was like, oh wow, what's he gonna do? How's he gonna respond? And you obviously passed that test. And then we get to the post-fight interview, and you freaking nailed that. I mean, you nailed it. Now, did you plan to like? Did you think you would reference the "we're not here to take part" and all that?
Yeah, I that was something I had planned. Okay. Because it wasn't something I'd completely necessarily worded. It was something I just thought about. And I remember speaking to my fiance, going, I'm not going to plan it. I just know that if I want to say that line, when I get into the cage, when I get into the octagon, and when I've done what I've needed to do, it'll come out the best way it's meant to. And like, between speaking to Joe and saying like, look, for the first time I felt a little bit of nerves, like thanking my teammates, none of that was planned. That was all just me speaking in that moment, and then it came out. Right. It finished at the exact. It was perfect. It couldn't. It couldn't have come out any better. And I really do feel like it's a takeover part two. I feel like that whole energy. Like when I said that, people can't really hear it when over the me and Joe speaking, but the whole crowd when I said, we're not here to take part, everybody screamed, we're here to take at the same time. And that was why, like, when I said, this is the takeover part 2, all you can hear is, yeah, everyone's screaming. So it was very, very cool. It was a surreal experience, and it was something that I'm never going to forget.
Amazing. Like, I almost felt, correct me if I'm wrong, I felt like you slowed down right as you were about to deliver that line. Like, you knew you had to nail it, because that clip is going to be replayed a gazillion times. You don't want to stumble there, and you freaking nailed it, 10 on 10.
Take a little break. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. I told you I can talk the talk and walk the walk.
Yes, yeah, I know.
Just got to take my time sometimes. It was just, I wanted it to have, like, again, I didn't plan it. I just knew that I wanted it to, I didn't want to rush it. I wanted it to, people to feel it and understand what I'm saying. Like, this is the takeover part 2. Like, when I said it, it's like a wise man once said, we're not here to take part. We're here to take over. And this is the takeover part 2. I wanted people to just kind of breathe with me. And then I also wanted them to know what was coming. Whereas if I had ran through it, people would have kind of not heard it. And I'm also Irish, so I speak quite fast when we get excited. So it was just take a beat and just say it.
Could you see your fiance in the crowd?
No. No, I couldn't. No, I couldn't hear. I listen out. I've good good senses. Yeah. I was trying to hear, but I couldn't. No.
Couldn't hear.
No.
Did you recognize? There was some celebrity. Like, do you have any recollection of making eye contact with anyone and being like, "Holy shit, this person's right here watching"?
Yeah, one of my mates. So my sensei in judo, his son was there.
Okay.
And Eric, and I remember seeing him when I was getting changed, and I was like, "What up?" And then straight after the fight, I ran over and gave him a big hug and a kiss, and he was like, "You're a legend, you did it." I was like, "We did it." He was there, and then obviously my corner, my corner. But like, other than that, no, I was just ready, and it was more just like, again, even seeing him there, it was kind of like, oh, this is happening. Like, there's people here. It was just a phenomenal experience, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Now, within seconds after, you get the voice note from Conor on Twitter, which those things are wild because he did it the night before with Peter Queally and James Gallagher. Yeah. And there's like, I've gotten voice notes on WhatsApp from people, you have as everyone. And it almost feels like he's allowing us to listen to something that he would exactly send you. Yeah, it's very personal.
It's very personal and it's very cool. So I listened.
What was your reaction?
So I heard about this. Someone said it to me when we were backstage. Someone showed me the tweet he posted, like saying, "You little fucking daisy."
I was like, by the way, is that a nice thing?
Yeah.
Because in America, I'll be like, is he making fun of him?
No. You little fucking daisy. Get up about that. Like, I get it. I get what he's trying to say. It's
very Irish.
Yeah. It's not, but it is.
Okay.
I get what he's trying to say, and he was being nice. As in, like, get up, like.
Yeah.
So I seen that, and I heard about these voice notes, and I'm like, what are people talking about? So I sat down. So firstly, I wasn't allowed, but the UFC said, when you leave here, you're done, you're gone. So I left and went back into the stadium, showed them my ticket, and sat down in the fans with my
No way.
Yeah, my family. I was like, I'm not
for the rest of the card?
I'm missing the rest of the card. Sat down there with my mask on, in my suit, and I was like, I'm just going to enjoy the rest of the fights here. And like, a couple of people recognized me, and they were taking photos. They're like, oh man, you won me money last night. And they're like, oh, you're great. And I was like, appreciate it. Great knockout. I'm like,
wow. Where were you sitting?
Up in the tier with my family, beside my family. So it was
wait, your family came?
No. So like my fiance,
gotcha.
And just relatives now. All people that it's hard to differentiate. We literally, me and Layla had this discussion earlier on. Like the family that I'm building and my blood relatives that are at home. It's like obviously they couldn't get here because of the thing, but it's I'm traveling with my family right now, and it's amazing. So they were there with me. So I went up and joined them, and it was just. Me and Layla listened. I was like, right, let's listen. So it was in between a break of someone, and we were listening. And I'm just I'm laughing, a big smile on my face. And he was just like, the fact that even in that, like, I could feel that Conor felt motivated by what I had just said, in a sense of like, out of respect. He was saying like, I respect that so much, in a sense of like, in my hardest time, coming back from an injury, like this has given me motivation. And he was like, I'm part of that takeover too. I'm like, hey, let's get on a car. Let's get on a car together. And we'll like, Ireland will explode if you put me and him on a car together. So like, I'm in. Like, if he's like, at the end of the day, like, he's the biggest star in the sport. And if he wants to join this takeover, like, we can do it again. Like, we'll do it together. But we were listening. It was phenomenal. The fact that he's going to take motivation in any single way. The fact that he inspired me and now I can give back any little bit to him is amazing for me. It's like, right, anything you've got, it's just returned because you've inspired me to be here. And if I can give you any motivation to help you come back, then like, off you go, Hug. Just here you go, take it all. So yeah, it was phenomenal to hear the voice message, and it literally felt like he might as well have called me. That's
I know.
What it felt like.
Yeah, it felt like that. It felt almost like we should not be listening to this.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
the
like
rest of the
someone
world.
leaked it. Yeah, no, it was brilliant. It was really brilliant, and I really appreciate it from him. Like I think it's special that like the biggest star in the sport, my inspiration, someone who I looked up to as a child, is posting stuff like that. I think it's phenomenal. It's like a dream come true. Like.
I can't imagine what that must felt like, especially after everything that happened in the hour leading up to it. And then there's this guy saying, I'm down, and you're helping me out. And he's like, I want a part of your takeover. He's like, what? You're the one who created the first one. He's like, I'm joining you. Like, that's, like for a young kid, I mean, I was happy for you listening to that, and it had nothing to do with me.
No, it was.
And especially in the first one that he posted, it almost felt like he was humbled by the respect that you were showing him. Which is something that in the past people haven't said about Conor, right? That he's not humble, blah, 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 whatever. And so it was beautiful.
It was special. And I really took it to heart in a sense of like, even the fact he was trying to coach me, like help me, like, like that's brilliant. Like, and he kind of got more into himself as it got further in. And I loved it. I loved that was his, like, he was so nice, like, and he said amazing things. And then he was helping me. And then he's like, we're going to smash everyone. They call me the single shot monster. And it was just, his character comes out. And it was amazing. And I had a good giggle at it. And I really enjoyed every second of it. And it's special.
And did he reach out to you privately?
I reached out to him privately. And I had a message to him just to say, like, thank you. Like, thanks for inspiring me. And if you want to do this, let's do it. We can do it together.
So you were in the zone, but you may have heard that there was an event in Dublin on Friday, Bellator, right?
Yes, I seen. Yeah.
Did you see the crowd?
I seen the crowd. Great.
I mean, Jesus,
dude. So Irish people like drinking and fighting.
Yeah.
Like they love it.
That was next level. Like seeing them. I mean, that was.
You mix both.
Yeah.
It's a party.
Especially post-pandemic, right? People are just like jonesing to get out and celebrate. And I think that was the crowd of the year. I think the Queally walkout was, it was incredible. It gives me chills talking about it. But it didn't go well, right?
No, it didn't.
They didn't leave happy, unfortunately. No fault of,
I mean, that's fighting, though.
Yeah.
That's fighting at the end
Did you watch that and say, I need to get the Irish back? Like, do you make a connection there and say, I'm not home, I'm at MSG, I need to end this weekend well for the Irish? Did you put that on yourself?
No. What other people, like, obviously, firstly, the better those guys do, the better it is for Irish MMA.
Sure.
Right? It's if we all are winning, then it looks better for Irish MMA. Every young kid that is in a gym gets more excited, more hype, and that'd be brilliant. But at the end of the day, it's fighting. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not easy sailing. It's anyone can win at any given time, and it only can take one shot, and it doesn't have to be from someone who's got that one shot knockout power. It can just happen. I've said this before. It's 4-ounce gloves. My nana could knock me out in a fight, potentially, like if she lands the right shot, and that's it. It could just be the right shot. I think it's unfortunate because, I mean, James and Peter had a massive opportunity to basically take over kind of an Irish scene in Bellator and go to new heights in Bellator. But it's unfortunate, and that's fighting. But I didn't take any pressure off them. I knew at the end of the day, me winning is going to do massive things for Irish MMA, and it's going to build a lot of hype going forward, regardless of what happened. Like, we're the elite, we're the top tier promotion, and it's only been Conor, and then I'm the first successful Irish UFC fighter to win my debut since Conor. I think it is. Since Conor's last fight, like, is
really?
I think so. I seen something about that saying like there's been no other active Irish UFC fighter that's won their debut since being signed to the UFC.
That's possible.
I think so. I don't know.
Okay.
I've seen some of that. It could be.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's the new era. It's the new era of Irish MMA. There's been one wave, and I've heard Pete and Niall and all the boys back home talk about this. It's like this is the second wave of Irish MMA, and I'm leading that way. And if me and Conor are going to do this together, it's great. Let's do it for everyone. But it's been, it was phenomenal. And it's just, once I go in there and do me, nothing else matters.
Did you hear, we're all good there, Joe? Yeah? Okay. Did you hear from your mom?
Yeah.
After you called her?
Yeah, I gave them a call.
What'd they say?
I gave them a call the next morning.
The next morning?
Well, we were out,
middle of the night. Yeah.
For them, it's late at night. I think there's a 5-hour difference. So I gave them a call the next morning. They just thought they were over the moon. I mean, obviously it's massive for them in the sense of not being able to be here. And yeah, they were just happy that I done what I said I was going to do.
Was there one, I mean, other than the Conor thing, was there one person that reached out to you or a message that you got in the aftermath that really stood out that you're like, wow, this means a lot? Because, there's going to be a kid watching this now who watched you on Saturday, who's then in 7 years going to say, I was watching Ian Garry. And it's a crazy thing how this whole circle of life goes. But was there a message from someone?
Before the fight, I got a message from a friend of mine who I don't speak to that much because he's very busy and we just our paths don't cross. And he's a friend of mine. He's doing really well for himself in an Irish sport. He plays for the Dublin team, which is massive back home. It basically means you're a superstar.
Okay.
And he just sent me a message that kind of like made me think. And I'm like, wow. So when we were kids, 4 and 5 and 6 years of age, we played Gaelic football on a pitch in a park. And the pitch was called Pitch 9. And he sent me a message being like, well, lad, like from Pitch 9 to Madison Square Garden, everything's going well. And I just kind of thought, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a long time ago, but it's also not at the same time. It's like, I can remember every single part of my childhood and everything that's got me to where I am now. And it just kind of made me sit back and go, wow. And one of the Cage Warriors guys producers sent Layla a message about me because he didn't want to message me. And it got me proper emotional. He was just saying like, this is like my destiny. Like I've just got to show up and do it. And it was a stunning message. And it was more just, I haven't been on my phone since the fight really. It's more just this, there's a couple of messages before the fight that made me kind of, again, added to that feeling of overwhelming. It's overwhelmingness. It was just beautiful. And like the support has been amazing. The hype has been brilliant. And it's all just falling into place. I've told you, this is a destiny. It's written. I just got to show up and do it. And it's just, for me, it's just enjoyable. I've just got to do it all over again now.
I can see you glowing.
It's enjoyable.
The smile, you can't even remove it from your face. So in your mind, the next step on this journey, the next step in the destiny, right? Are we done for the year? Do you think you'll fight again this year?
I mean, I'd love to fight again this year, but I don't think we're gonna. I think what we're gonna do.
You're all healthy, right? I'm assuming.
Everything's good. Yeah. We're good. We're going to take a break. I want to learn more now. So obviously I'm young and I've got loads of time in the sport. I don't want to rush back into a second fight. So I want to fight probably like April or May.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because if you think about it, I want to go home to Dublin.
Yeah.
I want to see my friends and family. I want to enjoy the holidays.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back to Florida because I'm based in Florida. And I'm going to spend a lot of time with Henry and the guys at Sanford. And I want to get that wrestling nailed down with Greg Jones because there's so much potential for me and him to just change my wrestling because he's an amazing coach. And there's just so much I can learn in that gym. 12 weeks is what I spent there for this fight, and it wasn't enough because there's so much I can learn. You give me 3-4 months there, I'm going to be a completely different fighter. I'm going to refine skills, and it's the little things that matter, like about like keeping my elbows in when I'm throwing, twisting my hands, little small things that will take me from being a great fighter to being amazing and just fixing those and just constantly working on them. So I want to work to be better because I have so much potential to grow between each fight. 4 months. I'm still going to fight 3 times a year every year. The debute's done. Let's take some time. Let's relax. Let's enjoy this. Next year I'll fight 3 times. I'll fight April, May. I'll fight June, July, or August, and then I'll fight the end of the year again. And that'll be my 3, and I'll continue that every single year. I will fight very active. If a short notice comes up at any point in between them,
there's no need.
I'll see what happens. But I'm going to make sure that I've got 4 months between every fight to grow as an athlete, to grow as a competitor, to learn, to just invest any amount of time that I can think of in something that's going to benefit me down the line. Everything has changed for this fight. Like, it was the hardest fight camp of my career. I had the best diet of my career. everything was changing and everything was better and better and better and better and better. And it's just like, everything can always improve.
Right.
We can always improve anything. So I want to be a perfectionist. I want to seek whatever it is that I can get better at and improve it. And I don't need to jump in right now. The hype is there. So when I come back, whatever time it may be, I'm going to be active, I'm going to grow, and I'm going to learn so fast that it's just going to propel me up the ranks even faster. So that's why when I say I want to take it slow, it's going to go fast anyway because of the person who I am, because of the charisma, because of the character, because of the fight style. It's going to go fast, but I'm gonna do my best to slow it down so that I'm not rushing.
It makes sense. You're 23 for God's sake. When's your birthday?
Yeah. 10 days.
10 days time. Okay.
Days, yeah.
All right.
17th November. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. All right. So you're 24.
Nearly 24.
Right. Nearly 24. Do you have an opponent? Is there someone like?
Honestly, no. There's no. I've not thought of it. No. I've not thought of an opponent.
Some of your Irish media friends were throwing out Mickey Gall. I saw some Nicholas Dalby's out there.
It does.
You don't have any sort of preference. Doesn't matter.
If they want to do it, let's do it. Like there's no like. At the end of the day, the UFC are going to send me a contract with a name on it.
Right.
I'm going to sign it. I'm going to send it back. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. I don't care who's talking online about I beat him, I beat that. Talking online, shit on Twitter doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
You can talk all you want on Twitter, but at the end of the day, unless you reach out to Dana, Sean, or Mick, that doesn't bother me. Like, if you want to fight, get onto the guys, and we'll see what we can do.
Do you? And by the way, guys, I hear people talking in here. Who's this? Oh, you know what? You know who it is? It's Cheeto, who's next. I was like, who's talking in my headphones? Because he's up next.
Yeah,
Did you hear that? I was like, who's talking?
Yeah.
If we could just kill that. I'm going to talk to Cheeto. He's going to have his moment in a second. And I appreciate him and you for coming in. So, all right. So you're open to that. I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, it's just you and Layla. You don't have a manager, right?
Me and Layla.
Yeah.
Manager.
Yeah.
We run my own manager.
How many people have reached out to you in the last time? I bet you every manager is like...
You know what? I haven't a clue. We've kind of stayed off our phones.
Oh, man. They're all reaching out.
We've kind of been off our phones, really, since then. We've kind of just... We try to be present in the moment. And, like, when we're going from interview to interview and doing things, we kind of have to be on our phone on fight week.
Of course.
So we just wanted to take yesterday to just kind of relax and spend time and just be in the moment and be present. I can imagine it's insane. We haven't looked, but yeah, we run we set up my management company, so it's the Future Group, and together me and her run it. So we are my manager, and she's got the brains, like, and all the creative ideas, and I'll say yes or no to anything that I want to do or don't want to do. She'll advise me, and that's it. But at the end of the day, it's all my decisions on who I want to work with, what I want to do, where we want to go with it. And we both talk together and we work as a team, and that's why it's pretty special. It's like, right, who on earth is going to back me more than the person who I'm choosing to spend my life with?
Yeah,
Like we work well together, and it's why it's like she's fucking amazing at what she does.
Well, my dealings with her, just booking you on the show, have been nothing short of amazing. But like when it comes time to negotiate with Dana and those guys, you are going to go in there with her and do your thing. That's the way you want it.
She can go in there on her own. She's more than capable of doing that on her own.
I love it.
So, like 100%, she could. I would have the utmost confidence if I went to her. You just go in there and deal with that, and she'd be like, all right. She will do everything.
That's great.
Everything right. She's a perfectionist. She does everything perfect.
We need more female managers in this game now. She's not your prototypical one because obviously there's a relation. But I can't even think. I might be missing out. I can't even think of one.
I don't know.
At the moment.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we
Are you going to look to make a big, like, are you going to look to sign other fighters? No. It's just you guys.
Just about me.
Okay.
Yeah, we want it to be specifically designed around me and everything that I'm doing, because at the end of the day, look, whatever manager's doing out there, great, cool, perfect. But at the end of the day, I don't want to give. We're in a world now where social media is taking over, and unfortunately, having a good social media affects fighting and stuff like that. And it's just the way the world is. It's technology driven. And she has such a good understanding and such good contacts that we don't need someone else coming in. And also, I'd rather keep the 20% and do it ourselves, you know what I mean? Or whatever it is they're looking for. If people want to come in and try help us and we do a deal together, maybe, but it's specifically designed around me. Just me. And I don't want, maybe afterwards we might venture it. When I'm done my career, maybe we might go, right, well, we built up these connections. Why don't we pick someone else? Maybe, we don't know. But for right now and for my entire career, it's just going to be about me, because that's all that matters, is me. Yeah. And if we put all our focus into me, then everything else will figure itself out around us. But that's where we make most of our money in this sport, is like, me and her we do it well, we do it right. And that's why we're not worried about bonuses or money or fight money. It's like, we make our money outside the cage, you run a successful business together, and we're going to keep growing that alongside my fighting career.
And when do you leave? When do you leave New York?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We leave tomorrow.
Back to Florida or back to Ireland?
We're going to go back to London first. And
More media?
Oh, probably. Probably. Do you know what? I don't complain about media. I love media. I love talking. I love meeting people. And like, do you know what? It's an absolute pleasure to be here twice.
Oh my God.
With the amount of times I've sat here and watched your show and been like, oh, one day I'm going to be on Ariel. One day I'm going to be on Ariel. And then even the fact that like you were tweeting about me on my fights and stuff like that, it's like, oh, we're going to happen. It's like, even moments like this add to the whole sensation of the overwhelming, is what I was saying. I'm going to come back the next time. Whenever it is I fight, I'm hoping it'll be in Vegas. I want to fight in Vegas next.
Yeah.
But like, nothing's going to faze me, because it cannot get bigger than this week. Like, it literally can't. The hype that was on me, the stage that was presented, the red carpet was rolled out, and I went in and I done my job. And no matter what, even if there was a little bit of kind of a rocky start, it still ended the right way.
Right.
And now we're going to go into the next time, wherever it may be on the planet, and it's just going to be plain sailing from here on out, and it's going to be a fucking spectacle.
I love it, man. I'm so happy for you. Honestly, congratulations.
Thank you.
And it's fun just watching this whole thing. I mean, the way you present yourself, the exuberance, the excitement, the story from the beginning, the first time I met you online, introduced you, your grandfather, that story was just a great moment in its own right.
Yeah.
And now to see it all unfold in front of our eyes, and then you nail the promo. And I mean, this is magical stuff. So I hope you have a chance to enjoy it. I hope you have a happy holidays with your family back home. And I can't wait for the next one.
Thank you.
I can't wait.
It.
And thank you for the kind words. And thanks for coming in again. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here. And it's like a good cherry on top of the weekend to come back in. And after we said it, I was like, I'll come back in after my knockout. Yes. Don't you worry. So it's like a cherry.
I was wondering. We'll talk in 10 fights. Everyone says they always want to talk, but then in 10 fights they get a little jaded. So we'll see if you get jaded towards the media.
Come here, look. I'm a media dream.
Trust me, I know.
Media goals,
yeah.
So I am never going to take
see.
an avenue of, I'm not going to do media. It helps the branding. It helps our company. It's what we need.
I wish they all thought like you.
Well, here's the truth. They're not as smart as
us. That's right.
You know what I mean? We fight better. We do business better. And we're going to succeed in life.
Appreciate it. Joe's going to walk you out. There he is. Thank you so much, Ian. You're the man. So thank you.
Take care.
Congratulations. Enjoy it. Thank you for coming in. And thank you for the shirt.
Anytime.
There he is, Ian Garry.